And Waluigi, everybody cheated with me, and baby Luigi, and Elman too, Mario, and baby Mario, yahoo! So thank you very much for coming. Terrific to see everybody. Look at your fire, Mario. Bling, 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 bling. Mario's, Luigi's, Edmund, mushrooms. Fantastic. And Yoshi! So thank you very much for coming. It's great to see everybody. It's wonderful to be here in New Zealand. You know, to me, I always want to say thank you because of you guys, we're all here. We all get to come and play in the sandbox and sign things and meet you, and it's really fantastic. So thank you very much. Probably the first thing that most people ask me when I go out is how did you get the voice of Mario? I'm going to tell you. You might have seen it already, but I'll tell you. You know, I've been an actor for like 15 years. I did a theater for a few years, and I'll tell you how I got into that later. You know, and I'm sitting on the beach one day, and a friend of mine calls me up and says, "Oh, there's an audition for a trade show in Las Vegas. You got to go." And I said, I never crash auditions. I'm a professional actor. What's the address? And I have no idea why I went, but I just, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave the beach. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to go. So I go, and of course I'm late, and I walk in the door, and the producer is walking out the door with the cameraman, you know, with the camera in the bag, you know, ready to leave. And I'm like, "Hi, can I please read for your thing in Las Vegas?" And he goes, "Oh man, all right, come on in. We'll set the camera up. Okay, so now you're going to play this part of this video game character named Mario, okay? So you're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, so make up a voice and make up a video game or, you know, whatever you want. Just make up stuff if you don't know anything about video games, because, you know, you're going to have these contacts glued to your face for this real-time animation system, and you're going to talk to people all day, right? So, you know, we have no idea whether this technology is going to work or not, because it's supposed to be like you move and say, "Hello, how are you?" And the character is supposed to go, "Hello, how are you?" If it doesn't work, you're still going to have to talk to people all day. So make up an accent, make up a voice, make up a video game, make up anything you want, start talking, and whenever you stop talking, that's your audition. And I'm thinking, okay, Italian plumber from Brooklyn. What is that? "Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me here." "Hey, I'm working here. Don't get in my face." You know. And I'm thinking, well, you know, if it's going to be if there are children there, people there, I don't want to, you know, be like gruff and hoarse and mean all day long. So I thought maybe I could do something a little bit nicer. Luckily, I played Gremio and Tammy and the Shrew a few years earlier in an adaptation from 1947 Italy, where Petruchio is an American GI going to get a rich wife, you know, and he's like, you know, "Hello, I'm Petruchio," and I was Gremio, and I "Hello, nice old Italian guy, talk like this," you know. Theater days, it was like I was the oldest man in the world, and I thought, well, I could just make that younger, but video games, I don't know anything about video games. I had played Pong, you know, you know, and Space Invaders, you know, and the waka 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 waka, you know, that's all I knew about video games, because my Atari was in the closet, you know, getting dust on it, you know, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, well, I can make up just something fun, and I'll just start talking, and I'll just have a good time. But I had something stuck in my brain that he said, "Keep talking until you run out of things to say." And I'm thinking, okay, that's never going to happen to me. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, but I could do something I'll just talk about. And then all of a sudden I hear action, and I turn the camera and I say, "Hello, I'm Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage, I get some spaghetti. We're going to put the spaghetti in the meatballs into the pizza pie, and then we're going to put the sausage. I'm going to chase you with the pizza, and if I catch you with the pizza, you got to chase me with the pizza. But first, you got to eat the pizza, you know." And I don't know, you know, I'm making up this, you know, just spaghetti and lasagna and meatballs, and then we're going to run up the hill with the meatballs, and then we're going to ride the meatballs down there, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing this, and I'm like, and I'm looking at him, and there's a camera, and I'm looking at these two people, and I'm like, well, he said stop, you know, talk until you run out of things to say, and then stop, right? And I'm thinking, I wonder if he really means it. So I mean, if I keep going, well, you know, how long I can go, you know, and I just kept going, and then I started going like, well, this is really fun, you know, talking like, "Mamma mia, we like to fun, and we're gonna make a lasagna, you, and you're going to stick to the line, and I'm going to put you in my shoes, I'm going to tell you, you know. And I just kept going until I heard, stop talking, cut. There's no more videotape. Thank you very much, we'll be in touch, you know. And to me, for an actor, you know, we'll be in touch means that's like the kiss of death. There's the door, goodbye, you know? And I'm like, okay, thank you very much, goodbye, and get back to the beach and watch the sunset. You know, and I did, I went back to the beach and I watched the sunset. I walked out of the room. He called up Nintendo and said, I found our Mario, I got him. And they threw away the rest of the tapes and only sent up mine to Nintendo. Because I was the only person who can go, you know, like, hey, how you doing, I'm Mario, have a great day. You mean something like that? Because as soon as someone said something, you mean they broke character. And the second they broke character, their audition was over. The guy would say, yep, that's it, thank you very much, next. Because he really meant keep talking, you know? So the way I got that character voice is by not apologizing, not asking permission, not, you know, trying to figure out, well, I wonder what exactly voice this guy wants to hear, but by just having fun. And so that's what I always wish for anybody that's a young actor, a young person, old person, middle-aged person, anybody, is to let go of, you know, the need to apologize, to let go of the sort of like trying to figure out what works. Because acting, in particular voice acting, but all acting, is like, you know, you study and you learn and you go through the process of like how do you develop a character, what do you know, the guy's got a big job, maybe he has a big jaw like that, you know, and maybe the guy beady eyes like that, you know, so you go through that learning process. But when you're there in the sandbox called an audition or called a job, you're really more like a dog chasing a stick on the beach, you know? It's like, go get the dog, go get it, you want the stick, go get the stick, you know, you go, oh yeah, I want the stick, I want the stick, I want the stick, you just do it, you know? And that's the way life, so much of life is doing it. So I always say to everybody, you know, follow your heart. Do what you love to do in life. If you want to be an actor, a voiceover talent, if you want to go to animes for a living, or you know, things like this for a living, there's a way that you can do it. Because if you're pursuing your happiness and your joy and your heart and having fun, then that's what's going to come to you, is you're going to have that, you know? So my wish for everybody is really live a happy life, make happiness your focus, develop your passions, develop your desires, as long as you're not hurting other people and are having fun and are committed to that joy and happiness. That's what the universe kind of gives you, because that's the law of resonant causation. You know, if you're vibrating up here going, woohoo, you know, there's not a lot of you know, it can come to that level, you know, unless you come down to the, you know. But, you know, that's what I wish for everybody, is to be happy and joyful in what you do, you know. I say that, and I say, you know, consciously choose your happiness, but I also recognize for myself, I happen to have stumbled into everything that I ever did. You know, I was going to be a lawyer, studying diplomacy and international law, in politics and diplomacy, and I was a great professor at UC Berkeley, and I did 3 classes with him. He was the greatest teacher I've ever had in my life. I decided my thesis is going to be political theory and the nature of man, and I'm going to only study with this guy. My thesis is going to be with this guy. Everything's going to be this guy. And I went back for my last year, and I couldn't get a single class with this guy. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to take it from this other guy. I'm a brat. I'm leaving, and I'll wait till I can come back. And a friend of mine just happened to say, hey, if you're going to leave the UC Berkeley, why don't you take an acting class from me? And I'm like, there is absolutely no way in my life I will ever be able to stand in front of another human being and talk, you know, or a group of people. That's like, don't you realize how much worse than death that is, you know? and you know, he goes, no, yeah, I know, but you can come on and we'll have a great time in the class. I said, come on up. He said, no, I can't do it. He goes, I'll tell you what, we'll go to lunch every day at the cafeteria because they have a student cook and chef program. I'm like, food? Oh, well, maybe I could come for just a little bit, you know? And somehow he talked me into it, and I go, and I'm doing my, you know, it's like a terror. I'm facing my abject fear of worse than death, being in front of people. And of course, the first thing we do is we have a monologue. You know, young actors, you learn monologues, and it's like the monologue is from the Spoon River anthology, and it's a bunch of people that are dead from Spoon River. And you come back and you say, oh, my name is John, and I had a terrible death. You know, the fire got me. And I'm like, you know, this is like young actor stuff, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do my monologue. And then we start going through everybody, and we go through every actor, and I'm like the last one, the last two, and I'm like, oh my God, and I sort of walk up, my impression of myself walking up is like, oh Jesus, oh God, I'm gonna die. And I get up there, you know, and I say, oh, my name is John, and my legs start shaking, you know, my right leg, I'm like, oh my gosh, I better put my weight on it, I put the weight on that leg, and then that leg started shaking, but oh my, spread your feet apart, and put them equally on the both, and then I get, you know, and my whole body is shaking, and I finish my monologue, and people are, wow. Yeah. You're the only person that wasn't nervous. How did that happen? I'm like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. But I don't know why, I have no idea why, but I didn't appear nervous. They said, wow, you've really got talent. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I should keep doing this. And I start doing it more and enjoying it more and more. And there's this audition for Midsummer Night's Dream. And I'm like, oh, I want to play Oberon, the king of the fairies. Because that's a deep voice, you know, oh, there lies Titania some time of the night, you know. Like, whoo, that's what I want to do. I want to do that one. So, you know, in college, you watch each other audition. I watch everybody audition, then I go up last. And I did my audition. And I went, oh my goodness, I was the best. I got this one for sure. I'm positive I have this. This is fantastic. I can't wait. You know, 2 days later, the casting notice is on the wall, and I'm like, oh yeah, gonna see my name next to Oberon. You know, I walk up, and it's like there's not next to Oberon. It wasn't next to anything. I didn't get anything. So I'm like, I was devastated, and I thought, okay, now I'm pissed. Now I'm going to really get into this acting thing. And so I started doing acting more and more. I did speech tournaments, and we won the state championships and national championships. And then we went on to, you know, and then Berkeley Repertory Theater professional theater came to audition at our school. And the same people went and auditioned. And because I'm a brat, I did too. And I went and I auditioned with Oberon, the monologue from Oberon. And these guys that had gotten the parts auditioned, and I don't know what they auditioned with, but I got the apprenticeship, and from there went to school and drama school and things. So, you know, I can say, do whatever you want in life, because it's true. You just don't know how things are going to happen and fall for you, you know. But if you're having fun and your commitment is to having fun, and that's what it was for me, then it just opens up all kinds of possibilities. So, and you guys are all from New Zealand, or some people from Australia?
No one's gonna.
Yeah? Everybody's from New Zealand?
Yeah.
Fantastic. What an absolutely gorgeous country you have. It's so beautiful. You know, just hanging around Auckland was great fun, but flying in and looking out the window at the green, the beautiful isle, you know. And then, you know, we went to Waiheke Island yesterday. It's so beautiful, and people are so friendly. So thanks for your incredibly warm welcome. I can't tell you how many people have come up and say, you know, welcome to New Zealand. I hope you're having a good time here. And thank you so much, because it's really, 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 really fun. So, let me see. Do you guys want a question and answer thing? Or else I'll just keep rambling, you know, which God knows, I certainly could do that. But who has a question for me? Anybody? Yes, Mario. Mario time.
Since you've been doing Mario for so many years, during normal conversation just at home, do you fall into Mario character? Just out of the blue?
Since I've been doing the Mario character for so long, do I fall into the Mario character at home? You know, the thing is, I think that whatever you do as a character, you know, it's a part of you. But of course, Mario, I've been doing Mario's voice for 22 years now. So it's a part of me that I want to be more and more and more a part of me, because Mario's a great, you know, he's like, every cartoon character that I play, I always base every emotion on reality, on realness, you know. It's like Wario is has the anger personality. Waluigi, you know, simple, you know, big drawing, a big line, but it's like self-pity is his modus operandi, you know. Baby Mario, adventure. Baby Luigi, terror. Luigi, fear, you know. So Mario is facing adventure and adversity with joy and a wahoo! So of course, I want to be more like that in my life, you know, and actually, yes, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yahoo! And I hear it in the morning. I have many times dreamed as Mario and fly as Mario. And yeah, so it's definitely a part of my everyday life, you know. And every time I see a new game and I hear a new music, it's like that music becomes, for me, it's like it's there forever, you know.
Your life soundtrack.
You know, So I'm making coffee in the morning, but you know. So yes, it does affect me a little bit.
Cool.
In the best way. I mean, I love it. You know, I say, when I just like in the best way. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's definitely part of my everyday life and happiness. And I have to say, I'm so grateful because the wonder about the character of Mario to me is the integrity of the character from the first when it was 8 bits to now, 16, 32, 64, however many now, 3 dimensions, everything is. I think Mr. Miyamoto and his creative teams are such great geniuses because
Definitely.
the integrity is always there. But everybody that works at Nintendo loves video games. So it's like, what are we going to do? Let's make more video games. Let's make a video game. So that's their motivation, is making great fun. And so to me, that supports my notion that you do what you love in life. When they made Mario Galaxy, the people that made Mario Galaxy were so in love with the game, they kept making more worlds and more adventures and things like that. And so Mr. Miyamoto said, well, if you're going to keep making them, let's just make another game. So it made sense. And so Mario Galaxy 2 happened, and each platform, of course, there's always pressure to make better and better and better and better and better. And for me, the Wii U is like one more incredibly fun piece in an adventure that never ends. So if you get a chance, you should go play the Wii U. It's really fun. And the Super Mario Bros. U is there too, and that's got the great music, the great characters, and the dancing turtles. And anytime I see a dancing turtle, it's like yahoo! So yeah, and I think you guys get it November 30th or something.
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic. I hope you get a chance to play it. It's really fun. Yeah. Who has a question? Go ahead and ask me anything. Yes, ma'am.
Out of all the characters he voiced, which one's your favorite?
Out of all the characters that I voice, which one is my favorite? That's a great question. Woohoo! It just makes me so happy to do that voice. It makes me smile, it makes me happy, and it brings good thoughts and good memories and good vision to me. So I love that, and I'm the type of person, I'm grateful for every single bit. I get a phone call. Will you come here and play a dog? Yahoo! Oh boy! I hang up the phone, and I'm like happy to be working. But with Mario, there's a certain level of super happiness, and a large part of that is I love that work. But I also, I'm so humbled by the kindness and the appreciation of fans of Mario. To say someone said to me, you made my childhood so happy today, and it's like, oh, I have to be careful not to spring a leak, because it's very, very touching to me. It's very moving to me. To do something that you love in life and to have a positive impact on people or make them smile and give them good memories, it's the greatest gift of my entire life. Really, really wonderful. Did you have a question? Yes. What tips do I have to become a voice actor? That's a great question. I happen to believe in study. I believe in going to an acting school. And learning to be an actor, because voice acting itself isn't separate from acting. It's acting, but it's bigger. They're bigger strokes, It's not the pointillism or the perfect reality of something, but it's a reality that's so much bigger and expanded. But it still comes from the place of realness in each character. Each character has a real, motivation. Why do you do things? I happen to believe a lot in Stanislavski without going too far overboard with it. Because also, I believe in the British style of acting, which allows for the presentation of something, So if I'm sitting there saying, I'm into my thing, and this is the greatest cap I've ever seen, but I can't share it with the audience. You don't know what I'm talking about. But, so the British things would say, this is the greatest cap I've ever seen. And it's showing it. So there's a way to balance it. And, you study. And then the great thing about this sort of Stanislavski technique is that you are then studying everything and everyone. So you watch, and when you see someone with a large jaw or a cartoon with a bag hat, you start learning and playing in that vein, and then you start acting, and the more you do that, whether it's school theater, community theater, or maybe just going right into voiceover, I don't know, but it's like learning how to do the acting part and play the role is the first thing, and then learning how to let go of all your education is the next thing, because it really, really, really is not brain surgery. You know, it's really come and have fun in the sandbox, and that's what it's the perfect life. Come have fun in my sandbox, yay! You know. Yes, who has a question? Oh wow, okay, you.
You were acting.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're a voice actor.
Yeah.
Do you miss the stage and having an audience?
Do I miss the stage and having an audience?
Obviously, but it's
Yeah.
different to an audience.
Yeah. You know, it's a funny thing. Life has this wonderful process of evolution. The question is, do I miss this theater? My mom misses that I do the theater a lot. Because she used to be able to say, look, I got the program and I saw you in the play. So I say to her, Mom, anytime you want to see what I'm doing, just Google it. And that's that. Mom, I started teaching you 15 years ago how to use a computer. You just go up, and you type in Google. Where? Okay, Mom. It's, so she misses that a lot. For me, it's like each part of my life has been like one part ends and the next one starts. And so I do miss the theater a little bit, but I couldn't possibly imagine doing it. It was funny, I did an audition after not doing theater for 10 years, and I got on stage, to read this part of a Nazi, and I'm like, and I'm talking, and after doing all these little other videos and television things where acting is very small, because theater acting is large, because you've got to show everybody everywhere in the house what you're doing, and film acting is so small, you don't just have to think about it, and it's that projects it. As soon as you go, I'm looking, it's like, then it looks like, wow, these big eyeballs pop out. So you just, it's such a different style. So when I got on the stage to act, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm a big ham, right now. I go, well, over here, and I'm like, why am I doing my hand up there? That's ridiculous. So, I don't miss a live audience. I love talking with people like this even more. So I have fun. But would I ever do theater again? Who knows? Maybe. Yes, who's next? Yeah, in the purple.
I just wanted to know, you've said that prior to your audition, you hadn't really played much in video games.
Yeah.
Has getting the role of Mario changed your relationship with video games?
Has having the role of Mario changed my relationship with video games? Oh yes, it has. Have I ever completed a game? Oh no, I am not. I'm not very good, And the funny thing is like, for me, it's like, Mario, it's like, I'll go up and I'm like, okay, I gotta jump over that thing. Okay, wait a minute, I'm gonna, yeah, bing! Oh, okay, I did, I got it. So, when I play with 4 people, it's like, I can't even, I know I'm playing Mario, and I can't even tell where I am. Because, and they're flying around, I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that where I usually wait, and I jump and get the mushroom, and then I get that, wait, isn't that where the Yoshi, oh, they've all got the Yoshis, terrible. But I love the games, it's really fun.
Do you ever get grumpy if you can't play Mario or Luigi?
No, because whoever does the voice of Toads in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I just have that little voice is like so cute. I love that voice. I always love it. Who else? Yes.
Do you do the voice of Yoshi?
Do I do the voice of Yoshi? No, I do Mario, Wario, Luigi, Waluigi, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and occasionally, once in a while, I don't even have a clue what I'm doing, but I look and it's like, oh wait, I did that, like Mario Sunshine. Welcome to the Isle Delfino, oh wait, I remember doing that, and then, oh that was me, so I forget, and then all of a sudden, there it is. Yes, over there was a question. Wasn't there a question? Right there. Do I have a favorite Mario game? That is so, right now it's New Super Mario Bros. U because I've been playing that all last week and the week before. That is just so much fun. Before then it was New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then before that it was Super Mario Galaxy, and it's every time there's a Mario Kart game, whatever game is out right now is the one that I go, oh my gosh, this is the greatest game I've ever played. So yeah, it's like, yeah.
I heard that you were going to be taking the job tomorrow, if that is...
You heard I was going to leave the job of Mario?
If that is... what are you going to do after?
Oh, I'm never going to leave the job of Mario. It's like, that is the thing that gives me the most joy of anything in life, and it's so much fun. If I ever lost my voice and could never do it again, I'd probably just come to cons and say hi to people and shake hands and things, but no, I whatever rumors you have. There's a rumor that I was dead recently, too. Oh my God, Charles is dead, oh no, wait a minute, I can do the voice, hang on, it was very funny. But no, I'm going to keep going for at least 20 or 30 years, hopefully. I hope so. Yeah?
So how does the process work? Like, how
That's great. Well, how does the process work? Do I voice in the beginning, the middle, or the end? And you know, it all depends on the producer. So I have voiced games as far as 2.25 years, 2.5 years before the game came out. All the way up to 2 weeks before the game came out. And that was one of those, Charles, can you come up to Seattle this Thursday? This Thursday, I mean, like really, like you have to be there this Thursday, you gotta be there, you know? He's like, sure, you know, and 2 weeks later it came out, boom, the game was out. So it really depends a lot, you know, on the producers and, okay, we're gonna do the whole animation, then you're gonna put voice to it, or we're just gonna give you a script and then we'll animate to what you say. You know, it depends. So it's always a great adventure though. It's always fun. Yeah.
Does the voice of Princess Peach?
Who does the voice of Princess Peach? Oh gosh. You know, I can't remember what her name is. And, you know, we always work at separate times, you know. So once in a while I go in and like I'll see her in there. And it's also changed a few times over the years because one of the actresses went away. One of the actresses was Leslie Swan, who was the producer of the game. So, you know, in the pinch she came in and did it, you know. And then they have somebody else. But once in a while I come in and I see the guy that's doing the voice of Bowser. And they're like, oh, hi, hyena, bye. You know, and then I go in and I do my thing. So it's just, I love it when when you do a cartoon, you're like 5, 6, 7, 8 of you in the same room. You know, 8 microphones. It's like you sit there playing and joking around. But when I work, it's just like I'm alone in the booth and they're the guys up in front. You know, but it's such a great relationship. You know, so many ideas bouncing back and forth. We do a script. We do to video sometimes, and then we improvise. And so it's just a process of how much fun we can have. Yes. Yeah.
What's your favorite non-Mario franchise?
My favorite non-Mario franchise is, well, it's Zelda. I love Zelda. I mean, Mr. Miyamoto is just, you know, he's just such an incredible genius to me. You know, he's the kind of guy that without him, the rest of us wouldn't be here, you know? But it's also that there's just this sense of real adventure and joy in the games. And I like that, you know? I don't play like Resident Evil or a lot of the Resident Evil, woohoo! You know, I would say, it's just like a Mario game, but completely different, you know? Because it's so different, you know? But and I'm the type of guy, you know, I raised some kids with my friend. I can't see a picture, a movie where there's violence against children, and then I can't sleep for like 3 months. So I protect myself against that sort of thing. I am kind of Mario-esque, you know. My world is very, you know, it's very sweet and fun. Yeah.
On top of Shigeru Miyamoto, do you have like much personal like man-to-man talk with them, or like Reggie?
Well, you know, I see these guys once in a while, but you know, and we talk, and we're always they're such nice people. But you know, they have the job, you know, of making video games like a process of like 3 years, 5 years, you know, which was really challenging back in the old days. Because it's like making a movie with endless possibility of endings. You know, so people used to be able to grab money together. We're gonna make a video game franchise, and by the time they got it to market, the platforms that they had developed it for had changed. All the computer coding had changed, and they had, you know, it's like, okay, now we're gonna throw everything away. So, you know, these guys spend a huge amount of time creating a game, years of creating a game, and I come in and kind of put the icing on the cake, you know. So that's what I get to do is put icing on. People go, oh, that's delicious, you know. Kind of cool. Yes.
What was your favorite level in a Mario game?
My favorite level in a Mario game? It's always the first level, because that's the one I'm guaranteed I can get through. You know, and it's always for me that first moment that I see a Mario game. It's like, oh, wow. I remember I walked in, and, you know, and I always see these things first at E3, which is, you know, or it used to be CS. And I walk in and I look at Mario Galaxy. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. You know, because, you know, it's like, where else can you go with a Mario game? Oh my gosh, and I remember goosebumps. I'm like, oh my god, and the first time I saw Super Mario Bros. Wii, I'm like, oh, that is so, but I still, when I play Galaxy, I still go like this. You know, I can't, I just, you know, so, yeah. Yeah, we think teeny paw.
Why is your Mario always so happy?
Why is my Mario voice so happy?
Is he ever angry or sad?
Is Mario? Yeah, but when he goes, oh, mamma mia! And in Smash Bros. Brawl, he's got, you know, and in Mario Strikers, yeah, there's definitely a different emotion there, but the predominant emotion of Mario is woohoo! Yeah.
Who does the voice of Link in Zelda?
Who does the voice of Link in Zelda? Not me. I don't. Yes.
Would you consider being the voice of Mario to be so much your full-time job, or do you still see yourself as an actor as a whole?
Well, do I consider myself an actor as a whole, or is Mario a full-time job? Well, I still do other jobs, but not very often because when I'm not doing Mario things, I travel. I sort of get on a plane and I go places. There's a lot of the world that I want to see. So I don't have a lot of time for things, and I can't give anybody like a 6-week commitment or an 8-week commitment or a 2-week commitment. So it's sort of like that changes the range of what I do. I did Parthenax in Skyrim last year, that was great fun, but it's like that's the last video game I did more than a year ago. So most of my work is Mario stuff, but I still like to dabble every once in a while. Yeah. Do they recycle a lot of the sounds? They do. They have recycled some, but most for like 80-90% is all fresh. But of course, there's a library after so many years of doing things. So most of it is brand new each time. Yeah.
Is it true you wanted to voice Link?
Is it true that I wanted to voice Link? Yes, it's true. I sent a word to Mr. Miyamoto that if anytime you want a voice for Link, I'm happy to read for that. And Mr. Miyamoto, I think sort of like thank you very much, but what we have is exactly what we want. And that's the thing is you gotta for an actor, I want to play all the parts. We all want to be Timothy, to Bottom, in Midsummer Night's Dream. But I trust the process so dramatically. I mean, these people, this is what they live, breathe, eat, They know, and Mr. Miyamoto knows what makes a great game, and I trust that process so incredibly. But I'm still happy to play anytime. Who's got a question over here? Yeah.
Have you recorded anything for Rick and Ralph?
Have I recorded anything for Rick and Ralph?
Yeah, Rick and Ralph.
No.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't yet, but I'm going to actually ask my agent to kind of look into that because I heard that Mario's in there, but I haven't recorded anything for it yet, so, I don't know, that's what I heard. That's what somebody said. Somebody said, oh yeah, he's in that, you should get a phone call. I'm like, but sometimes too, when you have like SAG jobs, it's like you get a residual check without knowing that something's in there. But I'll ask, thank you. What's it called?
Rick and Ralph.
Rick and Ralph, okay.
Break
Rick it.
As in break it.
How? Rick and Ralph, okay. I'll take a look, Okay, who else has a question? We have like 12, we have like lots of time. Am I boring everybody? Where you going? Come back here! No, see you later. Have fun. What do I think of the Super Mario Brothers movie? They made a movie? I had not heard that, it's interesting. I remember, I think I had just been doing the voice for a little bit. The way that the Mario and real-time animation thing happened, it was supposed to be a one-time thing. But we had so much fun doing it that it became a 2-time thing, 3-time thing, 4-time thing, 5-time, and now it's 22 years later. I don't wear these glue things on my face anymore, but I sit at home or in another place with 2 laptops and a hidden camera and a hidden microphone. So I see the kids at Nintendo World Store at Christmas time and they go, oh hey, how you doing? You got a Yoshi shirt on. I love Yoshi, and you go, whoa, how do you know that I'm looking right at you, Oh look, I can't see you anymore, So, it's just a great fun and great play. So that, it's been like lots of fun like that. Yes.
How long does it take you to animate or to give the voices for each game?
How long does it take to voice each game?
It's not known for its great dialogue.
No, it's not. It doesn't have a huge amount of. We do 4-hour sessions of each character.
Right.
So, but sometimes it's like obviously tends to have more breadth than a 3DS game. So a 3DS game can have a shorter session, like 1 session 1 day or 2 days, and depending on the game, like Mario Strikers, like 1 4-hour day for each character. So it depends on what it is. But it's great because I get to hang around Seattle. And hang around people that I love working with. Yeah, who's got a question? Yeah, Kitty.
What do you feel about Sonic the Hedgehog?
What I think about Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, it's so funny because you know, in the old days, you know, the evolution of video games is so interesting to me. You know, back in the day, it was like there was Mario, and then Sonic came in, and it was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen to Mario? He's going to be disappear, you know. And then Mario kept going, and the Sonic, well, it was on a platform. I can't remember what the name of that.
Sega.
It's the Sega thing, yeah, that's right, the Sega platform. But what was it called? Sega Dream? Dreamcast, yeah. And then all of a sudden they were gone, you know. But when that was happening, I said, oh look, it's my friend Chronic the Hedgehog, the little blue football that Yoshi brought in. Hawk, hawk. And I said, you know, then all of a sudden there's Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. So I'm like, my good old buddy Sonic, you know, yahoo! So I like the Olympics games too. They're fun. So I think, it's great fun. You know, to me, the great thing is the video game industry provides so much fun and joy and entertainment for people. It's the greatest form of entertainment because it's interactive and it's full of joy and it's full of fun. And if you're like the shoot 'em up games, you got it. If you want space travel games, you got it. It just offers so much to everybody. So I think video games are awesome. You know, one time somebody asked me, you know, when Grand Theft Auto came out, you know, they said, well, Mr. Martinet, do you feel that video games have a negative, adverse, and minus bad effect on young people? And I'm like what? You mean, I said, you know, no, I don't think so. I think people are, you know, you're balanced, you're having fun. I mean, it's like, if you go and steal a car, you're going to say, oh, I stole a car because of Grand Theft Auto? That's ridiculous. You have to take responsibility with your life. The next day in the paper, 2 kids in Arkansas stole a car and said the reason they stole the car was they were playing Grand Theft Auto and that's just great, you know. It's so silly though, you know. It's like no, video games are awesome. They're just fantastic, and I believe that everyone should play video games. Yeah, and watch anime.
What's your favorite non-video game?
My favorite non-video game thing that I've done. Oh, that's a really good question. I know, that's a really... You know, I recorded the 50th anniversary of the War of the Worlds in Skywalker Ranch like 20 years ago. When it was Skywalker Ranch was kind of brand new. They'd teleported in these enormous oak trees to fill in the hillside, you know. And we're out there in Skywalker Ranch, which is this enormous, beautiful ranch, kind of built as a film set. So, you know, we're staying out there, and like the doors, the handles are big, the doors are bigger, the panes of the glass are bigger, as though to, you know, as to make like film. You know, everything's like a film image, you know. So we're out there, you know, it was the first digital recording that had ever been done. And Sony had flown out like 10 engineers and digital things. You know, Skywalker Ranch has this Foley room that's like 5 times bigger than this. Foley is where you put in the sound, like, you know, the sound of things crunching. You know, they have microphones. But you want absolute dead except for that sound. It's a room, I'd say, hello, and the sound completely disappeared. You know, everything was so pure and clean. So we're out there, you know, we've done some Foley stuff, and we go outside to record the landing of the aliens. And we go out, and we're standing outside, and we're all, you know, we're ready to record our parts of it, you know, and a full moon rose over this mountain, and it was like this big, juicy, gargantuan moon. It was one of the most beautiful moons I've ever seen in my life, and I just sat there going, I am so grateful for my life. This is so fantastic. You know, you're out there, and you know, Rene Aubergenois was there. You know, all kinds of great actors were just, you know, hanging out with. You know, and that was enchanted. But I have so many great enchanted moments of my life that just are just pure fun. You mean of work, right? Oh, it's all just every job I do is such a gift. It's you know, it's like somebody calls up and says, come and play in our sandbox. I'm like, yay, okay, you know. So it's great, you know. And I wish that for everybody, is that you have work that gives you joy, you know. Yeah.
What's the most? Oh,
sorry, no, you go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What's the most difficult voice you've ever had to do?
What's the most difficult voice you've ever had to do? You know, there's no such thing as a difficult voice. You know what I mean? Because it's like the part of the education of acting is that your character can have an arc and change and things, but the integrity of that voice has got to be the same in the beginning, middle, and end. So maybe some of the longer projects were like several thousand lines, you know, to be the same character there as in the end, you know, even though you might change dramatically in your persona, your voice stays the same. It's like learning how to have that level of integrity is a good challenge, but that's something you learn as an actor too. Yeah.
I just wanted to know, has there ever been talk about some kind of animated short or feature for Mario? You as the voice?
Has there ever been talk of a short or animated feature for Mario? Yes, but it's all been done by me. You know, yeah, there was a cartoon many years ago, Lou Albino or something like that, a professional wrestler had, you know, got some rights to do a show, and then that ended. You know, I think that Nintendo makes great video games, and that's what Mr. Miyamoto loves to do, and Mario is a great video game character, and I think, you know, I think they're happy with that just the way it is, you know. Although I will certainly be going, yahoo, if they ever decide to do that, but I'm pretty happy the way things are, and I think they are too. Yes?
You say you travel a lot. What is the state, where's your favorite place you've gone?
My favorite place I've gone, wow. I love every place in the world. You know, I went to South Africa 2 years ago, and my client there, that was business travel, but between the jobs in Johannesburg and Cape Town, Johannesburg they took me to the Nelson Mandela house and to the Hector Peterson Museum. He was the first black child that was killed by the police force in the riot that really changed the country. And then they took me on a safari where I saw elephants and rhinoceroses. We could park the car and these rhinoceroses just come slowly eating their way through it. It was so incredible to see lions walking, you know, so that you know, is spectacular. And this year I think I'm going to try to go next year to Burma for a month and see that before tourism gets its teeth into it, you know. But I love every place. I sort of spend part of the year every year in Europe because I grew up in Barcelona partially, and in Paris and in London. And I lived in Barcelona under Francisco Franco, the fascist dictator. And so it's such a, you know, back in those days, you know, it was such a different world. All the old people were dressed in black and they never looked you in the eye, and the women were bent over double. You know, there was a study in, you know, in an old crone, you know, and there were still bullet holes in a lot of the buildings from the war that had never been repaired, and the industries had black, you know, on all the buildings. And then, you know, by the time the Olympics came after his death, you know, it's like this beautiful, happy place and people with colorful clothes, and so I love that. I love Spain, France, Italy, England. I love everywhere. I love New Zealand. What a gorgeous place in Australia. Fantastic. Really great. Yeah.
Actually, in Italy, Mario is really popular.
Is Mario super popular in those places?
In Italy.
In Italy? Yeah, you know, it's very, he's very popular everywhere. You know, I think it's an interesting thing because, you know, when you do an accent or a dialect, you know, it's a great thing because someone could say, hey, that's a stereotype of an Italian. What are you doing stereotyping? But there's just no harm at all intended in there, and none is ever taken. So, you know, and I think it's great to always be pure of heart that way, because I am. Yeah.
So it was called out from Seattle.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have a facility, or is it done by?
We go to a recording studio, yeah, in Seattle, and then we send sound files to Japan. You know, we sort of select through them and then send the sound files to Japan, and it's the oddest thing. I'm sort of an idiot savant because I once I finish something, it's gone from my brain, you know? And then I play the game again and I go, oh, I remember that was take number 4 of the second take that we were doing of that.
Oh, so it doesn't ruin it for you.
No, but I hear myself playing, I remember when we did, you know, hop, hop, woohoo! I remember that. That's a combination that, you know, I just remember that stuff, and I have no idea why, but I forget I do the thing until, you know, welcome to Delfino. I'm like, oh yeah, I did that character, you know, so it's really fun. It's fun to not be smart.
What's your favorite Mario enemy?
Mario enemy? Well, you know, my favorite Mario enemy is you know, in some ways it's Waluigi, but you know, it's in Bowser's like so, you know. I mean, it's, you know, so long, King Bowser. You know, it's what could be more fun than that, you know? Who's got a question? I have like 8 minutes left, but you know, definitely anything you want.
Do you ever think about what's going to happen to Mario if you stop?
Do I ever think about what would happen to Mario if I stopped? Oh, you know, I would never stop if I was killed or died or something like that. They have millions of sound files, and I would really hope that they would find somebody and keep doing it because they're such great fun games. You know, it's just magnificent, and the massive creativity and the wonderful joy and happiness that comes from the Mario games. I'm like, do more. Don't stop on my account. Yeah.
I won't ask you how much you're being paid, but is it...
How much do I get paid? Well, I get these little gold coins, but I have to run through this amazing world to get them. And I don't know what happens to them once I got them. They're just gone. I don't know where they are. The Bank of Nintendo, I don't know where they go, you know? Mushroom Kingdom Bank. Yeah.
Did it take you long to get used to the part in the last Elder Scrolls with the dragon and the different language?
Oh, you know, for Parthenax, it didn't take long to get used to the dragon language and that sort of thing. When you record, there are different ways that they do it. You know, in some of the recording sessions, I just have a script, and some of them they have like a TV set, and you know, they have like the line comes up and it goes blink, 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 and then it's recording. And so they put it out fairly phonetically, and the directors knew exactly how everything was supposed to be pronounced, and when they didn't, they called the authors in the thing. So, you know, they were really on top of it, always pronouncing these words exactly the same way. And they had thousands of hours of recording, so it wasn't hard for me. I just, you know, is that a lachrich or is that a lachrich? You know, you have to be awakened on some of the producer says, okay, now in this word, you know, you got 9 words in one sentence that are hard. You go, if you're tired, it's like, but yeah, it was pretty easy. Yeah, it was pretty, yes.
Do you find when you're playing Mario that you just want to uncontrollably do the voices through the
Do I
world?
find when I'm playing Mario that I do the voices uncontrollably? Absolutely yes. Especially if there are 4 people. I'm like, what? Wait! Oh no! You know, absolutely. No, Mom. You know, yes, absolutely. In fact, a lot of times people videotape me playing the games because I'm like, he. You know, definitely, most definitely. Yeah. How did I come across the other Mario franchise voices? Well, you know, I was doing the real-time animation stuff of Mario, and we were doing this tour, you know, to stores and things, and saying hi to kids, and I'd see them in the parking lots. And children would always, at some point, you know, because some people love Luigi, you know, and they'd say, "Can I please speak to Luigi?" And I'd say, "Oh, Luigi, you want to talk to Luigi?" You know, and it's moving my mouth. You know, my mouth is moving. You know, I could try to ask him if he come out and say hello to you, but I think he's pretty shy, and he's in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. But hang on a second, and I'd turn my head and I'd say, "Luigi!" And I go, "Yeah, what do you want?" "My friend here wants you to come out and say hello." "Oh no, I'm too shy. I'm in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs." "Oh, he says he's too shy, and he's in the kitchen making spaghetti." And I would intentionally let the mouth move just a little bit, you know, because I can hold it and make it move a little bit. And they say, "Are you sure? Can you please ask him again?" "Okay, ask him again. But I think he's really terrified." "Hey, Luigi, won't you come out?" "No, I'm really terrified." "He's really terrified." So I had this little silly kid, and I was the silliest thing in the world. But then, of course, you know, and it's like, it's everything in my life is such a joyous, wonderful gift. We're doing Mario in real time. And then I go to a consumer electronics show like 19 years ago or 18 years ago, and they say, okay, here's a new character you're playing. His name is Wario. He's just like Mario, but the opposite, you know? And I'm like, you're kidding me. See his mustache? He's like, maybe, you know, so I'm like, well, what do you mean? "Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm all right. Oh, get out of my face. Yahoo!" Like, oh yeah, do that, you know? So then I got to do that. You know, and then I got to the Mario Kart 64 session, and there was this incredible character, Waluigi. He's like, everybody cheating but me. Oh, hello, Mr. Eyeball Guy. You know, it's like, and then I go and I'm going to a recording session, and there's Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. You know, I'm like, you're kidding me. You know, it's like each time, you never know the gifts you're going to get, you know. So you have to be open to a lot of presents, because life is a big gift that you never know how much time you have to unwrap it. That's the problem. You know, it's like you go to the bank every day and you get to withdraw so much money, but you never know when it is that it's going to end. So my thing is really, truly, and commit to yourself to enjoy every minute you can of life, and to be grateful for it. Because when you're grateful, life gives you things to be grateful about. When you're happy, you get things to be happy about. You know, when you're miserable and sad and angry, you know, then you get things to be miserable. You know, that's the way the writers write for Wario. They don't write for Wario, okay, now Wario is super happy. You know, it's like, no, it's like the character that you play in your life, the mask that you wear, is really the piece of you that's really underneath that mask. So, you know, if you have anger issues, deal with them. You know, express them in the appropriate way and let them go, and to open up to the wonder that's life. Because one thing I have learned is that life is so fragile. Everything that we do is to, you know, is this illusion of like, this is a hard surface, and we know that this is, you know, and this is a rock, and that's and I buy a house and my cars because they'll last forever. But you don't. You know, and you never know when it is that you're going to be leaving this wonderful, wonderful place, you know. So enjoy every minute of it. And always remember that people are really good. You know, we have newspapers that tell us how evil and rotten the world is, and we can all get self-righteous and bothersome. But we know that inside of ourselves, and I get proof of this every day when I meet wonderful people like you, it's like people are good. Life is wonderful. Life is great. So enjoy every second of it, you know? That's my wish for all of you, you know? Thank you. Thank you. I still have like 3 or 4 minutes if you want to keep going. It's like 3 or 4 minutes before 5. If anybody has more questions, I'm happy. Otherwise, yeah.
Do you collect Mario like merchandise and stuff, or do you try to keep that secret?
Do I collect much Mario like merchandise? You know, I have a lot of posters and some of the stand-up things, because like sometimes I'm in Germany and they have like a PD Piranha, you know, I'm like, oh, I want, and there's a Goomba, and there's a, I want that. I want that. Well, all right, we'll ship it to you, doggone it, you know, and I get to my house and I'm like, yay, Piranha, you know, and I put him out, you know, if I do an interview from my house, I'll like put PD Piranha over there in a banana peel, you know, sort of like they're just like, this is part of my normal life here, you know, so I do collect a little bit of that stuff, and it's totally fun, you know. Yeah. What is my favorite anime? I know absolutely nothing about anime. I've been in like 4 or 5, and I have no idea what they were. You know, it's so funny, and it's like the casting is so funny for that. I remember one that I auditioned for. I auditioned for like these young heroes, and they sent the files back to Japan. And the director arrived from Japan, and he came in to the thing, and the casting director said, well, he loves your voice on absolutely every character. So I'm sure you're going to get something really fun to play. I'm like, fantastic. Well, I'll play all the parts. I'll be the lead. I'll be the, you know. And the director comes in, and he said, he starts talking, and he's like talking, and then looking at me, and, you know, and he's talking to his Japanese assistant. The Japanese assistant is translating to the casting director. The director's very troubled. Mr. Martinet doesn't look at all like his voice. And I'm like, well, isn't that the point, you know? So it's like he wanted to cast people that looked like the characters in the anime, which I thought was, like, that's so fascinating, you know? I mean, why? And I got, in the end, I ended up playing a short, fat guy, you know, with bald hair, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened here? So, you know, it's like, you never know.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not familiar. What's your favorite anime? Yu-Gi-Oh? U-V-I-O? U-G-I-O. Okay, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to Google Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm going to watch a little Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm sure that's probably not his voice, you know. Who else has a question? Yes, ma'am.
Do you still have to audition for stuff now, or does everybody come to you?
Do I still have to audition for stuff, or does everybody come to me? I still have to audition for stuff. Never with Nintendo, of course. You know, But yeah, if I want to do a commercial or something like that, because being a voiceover star or a celebrity is not at all like being a star. Like somebody, John Wayne, he doesn't read for something. They know, John Wayne is John Wayne. But most actors have to audition. It's a sad thing because in the good old days, and in the old days, it's a sign of the time the way things are. In the old days, I'd like do a job in a commercial, and the producer would say, "Well, do you happen to do a Russian accent?" But of course I do the Russian accent, of course, Oh, great, what are you doing Monday morning? Nothing, I'm free. Great, I'll call your agent, we'll book you for Monday morning, And that's gone, that sort of style is gone. Now you audition for everything. The internet, you have like voice casters, sends out a note that they've got a commercial for a musical in Utah, a musical, or some sort of commercial, and then your agent in Seattle, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco picks that up, and you get a call, do this audition. So there's not the client loyalty that there used to be. But, it's just the way things are. The access to millions of talent means it's the loyalty factor is a little bit less. But, so you still have to go out and get the job. Yeah?
Do you get free merchandise?
Do I get free merchandise? Do I think Mr. Miyamoto actually pays for merchandise himself. I do get free merchandise. I do. Yeah. And it's really fun when something comes in the mail. You can imagine I'm, Yahoo! All right, Yahoo! Plug it in, and I'm terrible with electronics, So sometimes I call up, and say, okay, hi, this is Charles Martinet. Listen, I'm sitting here trying to plug in the thing, and I don't need to, wait, this is Charles Martinet? Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to, are you the voice of Mario? Yeah, woohoo, yeah, but I'm are you kidding me, really? No, I'm saying that, but I'm trying to plug this thing, so I'm, this thing. And I remember calling the helpline, because in the old days they had a helpline, and it's like, hi, I'm Charles Martinet. Wait a minute. It's very cute. Yeah. Almost out of time. Who has a question? Yeah. Oh, last question. Do I know how many Mario games there are?
How many games that Mario was being?
I have no idea. 300, 200 and something? I don't know. A lot. A lot of really great fun things, Okay, so let me say, thank you guys all very much. Go out and have the greatest time this weekend. Be safe, be friendly, be happy, and have a wonderful life. And I hope I see you again really soon. And thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Number one. Yahoo! Super Mario Land. Yahoo! Thank you.